at this tape. It's taken long enough. We were on holiday in Felixstowe last week, and the weather was really good. The best we've had for years, in fact. All our weeks, 3 in all, have been good, but this was the best ever. I could not dash about quite so much as I got my angina back quite bad again. My own fault, as I have been overdoing things rather. Still, Connie has been wonderful, and I hope to get back into my stride again soon. I've had some good veg in the garden again, and at the moment the asters are really lovely, a blaze of colour. Our summer has been really very upsetting for the plants. I've had to water quite a lot, and July the evenings were so cold, although very hot during the day. Not like it should be, anyway. August for the school holidays was quite good. The children could be out most of the time, and that was a blessing really, because there's nothing worse than them being cooped up when it's wet. The old Minnie still takes us about, and we have had several outings this year with the post office veterans and the garden clubs. In the stately homes, you can see how the other half used to live. They can't keep them going there, though. They give them over to the country, but they are certainly lovely to visit. Bill has just bought a brand new car, a Ford. I have sat in it and it's very nice. Radio, sunshine roof, tinted screen, the lot. Nice to be rich, isn't it? Their other car was getting past it though, so I think they done right in getting the brand new one, starting off from scratch. I bought some hanging baskets when we were down Felixstowe to put on the wall outside, and I've already got a trough with plants in. Brian makes me the brackets, and they do hide up the wall a bit with a nice bit of colour. I've also planted heathers this year in a corner spot, and I've got some little conifers. They will go up to about 4 feet, so that will hide a bit of the fence between us and Morris. It was Connie's idea, you know, and I suppose when they all get up nice and high, it'll be almost like a stately home here when you come and see it all. I bought the first plants off the market and they cost me 70p each, and then I had to wait several weeks before they had any more in. When I went to get those, they were £1. Just 30p up in a matter of a few weeks. Petrol is the worst thing though, which has gone up. It's now 169, 170 a gallon. I suppose by Christmas or just after we'll be paying at least £2 a gallon for it. Makes things go up because transport has got to move the goods, so therefore if they've got to pay more petrol, we've got to pay more for the stuff when it gets in the shops. So if the government were to bring the petrol down, probably they could bring the prices down. That's what I think anyway, but we can't see that at the moment. They all seem to be fighting among themselves these days. Still, Connie and I manage all right. We get along with the pension and the post office pension, which is a good help. We'll just have to hope we ever win on the pools. And the main thing is, if we can keep the Mini going on the road, that'll be something. Can still get at least 50 miles to the gallon for a journey, and that's a good thing, and oil and other things I don't have to worry about. Still, one of the lads does any repairs that I want, and only more or less said he wants a cup of tea. That's a good thing. I'm glad I went and worked in the motor trade when I left the post office, because I could never keep the car on the road. I don't know whether Connie told you about when we broke down. We'd been down to Felixstowe to see if we could get fixed up with a caravan. And on the way back, we tried to overtake a large lorry. And instead of getting past it, it was pulling past us again. So I thought there must be something wrong. Anyway, we stopped and I cleaned the plugs, etc. Carried on a bit further. Had to stop again, more plug cleaning. Carried on. And I was hoping to get to a filling station on the road which belongs to my old firm. Anyway, we couldn't quite make it, so I stopped in the lay-by and locked up, and I said to Connie, come on, we've got a hitchhike. So I waved my thumb, and a lady and gentleman in a car stopped and gave us a lift. When we got to this filling station, it was closed. Anyway, the phone box was just by, so I tried to get in contact with the firm from there with no luck. But the people said they'd wait to see how we got on, which was kind of them. And then they ran us into Ipswich, where they lived, and dropped me off at our place in the Woodbridge Road. Well, a policeman who was in there, I told him that I'd broken down on the Felixstowe Road. He got in touch with the firm on his walkie-talkie, which was very kind of him. They came along, and I happened to know one of them because he'd been to Bury and I'd met him there. So I told him, what was the trouble. He went and got the car with the keys, and he got on his walkie-talkie for a taxi for us. And we got to the station, had a ride home on the train. Clifford picked us up from the station and brought us home. And then we borrowed his car the next day when I phoned the firm and they said the car was ready. And we went over to Ipswich in that. And the car was ready, and normally there had been quite a huge bill because towing the car in is quite a few pounds a mile. Well, as I say, the manager, he used to be at Bury before he went there to the firm in Ipswich, and known him very well, and also have done him favours. I said to him, be kind to me when you give me the bill, won't you, Mr. MacDonald? And he said, oh, don't worry about that, Jim. And they were very good. I had a very small bill compared to what that should have been. Anyway, we got over that episode, and also our luck continued. We managed to get the caravan booked up, so everything more or less went well. Just made a cup of coffee, Betty. How about popping over and having one with us? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Or, if you liked, I have some Earl Grey tea. Now, I won that in a raffle at one of our club meetings, and evidently it's the tea which is favoured by the Queen Mother. So that is very nice, but nobody seems to like it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We were given a Mara a little while ago by the club to grow, and the winner would get a little prize. Anyway, I planted this behind the shed, and that never seemed if it was going to have any damn Maras coming on it. Anyway, I propped it up as a last resort, and a lovely marrow grew, and I watched over it and kept the cats off it, and then we put it in the show, and do you know, I won the prize. But I never got the prize money, which they said, so they must have forgotten all about that. But when I showed this marrow the day that we were going to take it up to my neighbour, who was also entering one, he didn't take his along. He knew mine was the greatest, you see, so I put it in the show we went to last night, but I only got second prize. Still, Connie says she's going to cut it up and give some of it away. I thought I'd just have a look up to see what we did 10 years ago, which was the 16th of September 1971. And the place was strong, the weather sunny and warm, with the temperature at 80 degrees. The dollar then was $2.43 to the pound. That day, it says, we went to Porter Lake, stayed till 5 p.m. We went swimming, and the water was warm and it was very hot. Then we went for a ride round in the Bronco, had some lovely views from high up. That evening we called in at Grandad's for a chat. Now how is that? For 10 years ago, 80 degrees. Lovely. I wish we were there now. And now I can go back again to the 16th of September 1978, when you were over here. It says that you and Connie went up to town and you called on Mrs. Calvert and they took you over the Kersey. Then in the evening we went up to Betty and Bill's to tea, and it says we had ham salad and trifle and cream sponge and a drink afterwards, and we all got home about 11 o'clock. I keep this in the travel diary which you gave us when we first came over to you, and I'm also keeping up every day the 5-year diary which you sent me, and because this first year is nearly finished now, well, 3 months to go, but I shall keep it going, and as you say, I can look back to see what I did that the year before. It'll be very handy because I've made quite a lot of gardening notes, and that will help me a lot when it comes to planting again. I can either put them in a bit earlier or leave them a little bit later, according to how they grew for me this time. Well, Betty, it looks as if I'm getting near the end of this tape, this side anyway, so I'll call this side 1 and then get Connie to make a start on the other. Get her little notebook out, take all her notes, and then carry on from there. So I'll say cheerio on this side, but I'll try and pop in on the other before we finish. Bye bye, Betty.